අයිබෝවන් සබෝදෑසනක් ප්‍රේක්ෂක හිතවතුනි ඔබ දන්නවා ඉන්දියා අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයාගේ විශේෂ නියෝජිතයෙකු ලෙස රට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය ආචාර්ය එස් ජයශංකර් ඊයේ පස්වරුවේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට පැමිණියා. මේ මොහොත වන විට ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය ආචාර්ය එස් ජයශංකර් සහ මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය විජිත හේරත් සහභාගී වන ඒකාබද්ධ මාධ්‍ය හමුවක් ආරම්භ වීමට සියලු කටයුතු සූදානම් පවතින බව ජනාධිපති කාර්යාලයේදී අපි සූදානම් එම ඒකාබද්ධ මාධ්‍ය හමුවට සජීවීව යොමු වන්න.
Steadfast solidarity with Sri Lanka in the aftermath of the adverse weather conditions caused by Cyclone Ditwa. This visit is a strong reflection of the close friendship and enduring partnership between our two countries, as well as India's role as a first responder through the timely launch of Operation Sagar Bandhu. On behalf of President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake, the government and the people of Sri Lanka, I convey our profound gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the government of India, and to you, Dr. Jayasankar, for India's invaluable support in assisting Sri Lanka to overcome its economic challenges. We recall with appreciation the unprecedented assistance amounting to $4 billion extended through lines of credit for essential goods and petroleum, bilateral currency swaps, and liability deferment. Sri Lanka and India share a long-standing, multi-dimensional relationship rooted in geographical proximity, deep historical and cultural ties, shared values, and expanding economic linkages. Our bilateral relations continue to grow from strength to strength through regular high-level engagements and close cooperation at political, official, and people-to-people levels. In this regard, we deeply value India's continued support in stabilizing the Sri Lanka economy through multi-pronged assistance, including emergency financing and foreign exchange support, as well as $20.66 million extended to settle payments due for projects completed under existing lines of credit. We also sincerely appreciate India's crucial role in Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process, including as co-chair of the Officer Creditors Committee, which enabled the timely conclusion of discussions. Friends from the media, earlier this morning, Dr. Jayasankar called on President Andrew Kumar Dissanayake and followed through bilateral discussions, which focused on the broad trajectory of India-Sri Lanka cooperation across key sectors, including economic development, energy security, connectivity, trade and investment, health, education, maritime security, digital cooperation, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. Views were also exchanged on enhancing cooperation in disaster pre-preparedness and resilience in view of the growing impact of climate-related events in our region. During the meeting, President Dissanayake conveyed his sincere appreciation for India's swift and comprehensive humanitarian support, including the provision of large-scale relief supplies, emergency medical assistance, search and rescue operations, restoration of connectivity, and assistance in rebuilding critical infrastructure. This timely intervention has brought much needed relief to affected communities and has been invaluable to Sri Lanka's national response efforts. As you are aware, India provided over 10,000 tons of relief material, which were promptly distributed among affected communities. The Indian Army Para-Field Hospital established in Mahiyangana delivered critical healthcare services, while Indian Army signalers successfully restored connectivity following cyclone-related disruptions. India also provided approximately 10 tons of urgent medicines, strengthening our emergency healthcare response at a crucial time. We also acknowledge with appreciation the provision of 228 tons of Bailey Bridge units in 4 batches, pursuant to the request made by President Dissanayake to Prime Minister Modi. This assistance enabled the rapid restoration of vital transport links. Earlier today, Dr. Jayasankar and I virtually inaugurated the Bailey Bridge installed in Kilnochchi in the presence of President Dissanayake, an important contribution to restoring connectivity. Friends from the media, Dr. Jayasankar's visit today is particularly significant as he is here to announce a further relief package which will provide meaningful support to Sri Lanka's recovery and rebuilding efforts. Through this gesture, India has once again demonstrated its enduring friendship and solidarity. We remain deeply grateful to Prime Minister Modi, to Dr. Jayasankar, and to the people of India. As Dr. Jayasankar is aware, Sri Lanka's tourism sector has rebounded following Cyclone Ditwa, and all tourist attractions are now fully operational. India remains the largest source of tourists to Sri Lanka, and a positive message from you, Dr. Jayasankar, would greatly enhance traveler confidence and encourage continued visits. Dr. Jayasankar, I thank you once again for your visit and for the steadfast support extended by the government and people of India to Sri Lanka. I now invite Honorable Dr. Subramaniam Jayasankar, Minister of External Affairs of India, to address the media. Thank you very much.
Honorable Vijita Herath, Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka, High Commissioner Santosh Jha, members of our 2 delegations, friends from the media, good morning, namaskar, ayubavan, vanakkam. As you are all aware, I am here as special envoy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and carrying a message for President Anurag Kumar Dissanayake. The President was kind enough to receive me this morning, and we had a detailed discussion on the damage caused by Cyclone Ditwa. The letter from Prime Minister Modi that I handed over builds on our first responder role and commits a reconstruction package of US $450 million to Sri Lanka. Our talks centered around how expeditiously this commitment can be delivered. As your closest neighbor and in line with our Neighborhood First and Mahasagar policies, it was only natural that India stepped forward at a time when Sri Lanka faced a crisis. We have done so when you were going through economic difficulties as well. In the case of Cyclone Ditwa, you would appreciate that India has also been a strong advocate of cooperative disaster response. The Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure was a notable initiative that we led in this regard. India's relief and assistance mission, Operation Sagar Bandhu, commenced on the very day that Cyclone Ditwa made landfall. Our aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, and another ship, INS Udaygiri, were present at Colombo and delivered relief materials, and thereafter also deployed helicopters. Thereafter, a number of Mi-17 helicopters of the Indian Air Force were active for a period of more than 2 weeks in Sri Lanka. An 80-member National Disaster Response Force contingent arrived simultaneously and conducted rescue and relief operations. The Indian Army set up a field hospital with 85 medical personnel near Kandy, giving emergency care to more than 8,000 people. 2 modular Bhishma emergency care units were also airlifted to Sri Lanka and utilized. Given the scale of the damage, restoring connectivity was clearly an immediate priority, and this was in fact discussed between His Excellency President Desanayake and Prime Minister Modi in their telephone call. A large number of Army engineers erected a Bailey Bridge transported by C-17 aircraft at Kilinochchi, which Minister Herat referred to earlier in his remarks. 1 more Bailey Bridge at Chilau is currently under construction. Overall, Operation Sagar Bandhu delivered over 1,100 tons of relief material, including dry rations, tents, tarpaulins, hygiene kits, essential clothing, and water purification kits. About 14.5 tons of medicines and medical equipment were also provided. Yet another 60 tons of equipment was brought to Sri Lanka to assist the relief operations. Recognizing the urgency of rebuilding, Prime Minister Modi directed that we now engage with the Sri Lankan government to address their priorities in that regard. The assistance package that we have proposed is worth $450 million. It will include $350 million in concessional lines of credit and $100 million of grants. This package is being finalized in close consultation with the government of Sri Lanka. Our assistance will cover sectors worst affected by this cyclone, including 1. Rehabilitation and restoration of road, railway and bridge connectivity. 2. Support for construction of houses fully destroyed and partially damaged. 3. Support for health and education systems, in particular those that have been damaged by the cyclone. 4. Agriculture, including to address possible shortages in the short and medium term. And 5. Working towards better disaster response and preparedness. We are conscious that work towards mitigating the impact of Cyclone Ditwa on the people of Sri Lanka must be done in the quickest time possible. We are discussing an effective coordination mechanism for earliest possible delivery. Let me also add that there are other ways by which India can and will be of support to Sri Lanka. You are a significant tourism economy, and Minister, let me assure you that we will continue to encourage tourism traffic from India in that regard. Similarly, an increase in foreign direct investment from India can also boost your economy at a critical time. Our discussions will therefore keep in mind promoting a deeper cooperative relationship between our two countries. Friends, we fully recognize that this is a very difficult period for Sri Lanka. Just as it was recovering from the economic crisis of 2022, this natural disaster has created new difficulties. We have seen in the past the strong resolve and strength among the people of Sri Lanka to overcome challenges and to march ahead. I can assure you that India stands firmly with Sri Lanka more than ever before, and I'm sure that Sri Lanka will once again demonstrate its great resilience in recovering from this adversity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your further assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the conclusion of today's program. Thank you. Have a great day.
ඉන්දිය අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයාගේ විශේෂ නියෝජිතයෙකු ලෙස මෙරටට පැමිණි ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය ආචාර්ය එස් ජයශංකර් සහ මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය විජිත හේරත් සහභාගී වූ ඒකාබද්ධ මාධ්‍ය හමුවටයි අපි එලෙස සජීවීව සම්බන්ධ වුණේ. ජනාධිපති කාර්යාලයේදී තමයි මෙම ඒකාබද්ධ මාධ්‍ය හමුව සංවිධානය කර තිබුණේ. ඉතින් එම මාධ්‍ය හමුව ඇමතු මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය විජිත හේරත් මහතා සඳහන් කළ කාරණාව තමයි දිට්වා සුළුකුණාටු හේතුවෙන් පීඩාවට පත් මෙරට ජනතාවට ඒ වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට සහාය සැලසීම ඒ වගේම සහන සැලසීම සඳහා ඉන්දියාව ප්‍රමුඛව කටයුතු කළ බවත් එම ලබා දුන් සහයෝගයට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ කෘතඥතාවය පළ කරන බවත් මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය විජිත හේරත් මහතා මෙම මාධ්‍ය හමුවේදී සඳහන් කළා. ඒ වගේම අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය නරේන්ද්‍ර මෝදි ඉන්දියා අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය නරේන්ද්‍ර මෝදිටත් විශේෂ ස්තුතියක් මේ මොහොතේදී මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය විජිත හේරත් පළ කළා. ඒ වගේම ආර්ථික අභියෝග හමුවේ ඉදිරියට ගමන් කරන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට පවතින මේ ඉන්දු ශ්‍රී ලංකා සම්බන්ධතාවයෙන් වැඩි වාසි අත්කර ගැනීමට මෙම සංචාරය මහත් පිටුවහලක් වන බවට තමයි මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍යවරයා වැඩිදුරටත් සඳහන් කළේ. ඔබ දන්නවා ණය ප්‍රතිහත කරන ක්‍රියාවලියේදී ඉන්දියාව ප්‍රමුඛ කාර්යභාරයක් ශ්‍රී ලංකාව වෙනුවෙන් ඉටු කළා. ඉතින් එම කාර්යභාරයත් මෙම අවස්ථාවේදී මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍යවරයා මතක් කළා. විශේෂයෙන්ම අද පෙරවරුවේ මෙම මාධ්‍ය හමුවට පෙර ජනාධිපති අනුර කුමාර දිසානායක සහ ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය එස් ජයශංකර් මහතා අතර ද්විපාර්ශ්වික සාකච්ඡා පැවැත්වූ බවට මෙහිදී කරුණු අනාවරණය වුණා. එහිදී ආර්ථිකය, ඒ වගේම සංචාරක ක්ෂේත්‍රය, සෞඛ්‍ය, බලශක්තිය ආදී ක්ෂේත්‍ර ගණනාවක් පිළිබඳවම විශේෂ සාකච්ඡාවට කිහිපයක් පැවැත්වූ බවට තමයි විජිත හේරත් සඳහන් කරේ. විශේෂයෙන්ම එම සාකච්ඡාවේදී ජනාධිපතිවරයා ඉන්දිය අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයාට විශේෂ ස්තුතියක් පළ කර තිබෙනවා. දිට්වා සොලිකුණාටුව හේතුවෙන් පීඩාවට පත් වූ ජනතාවට සහන සැලසීම, ඒ වගේම එම ජනතාව මුදා ගැනීමේ කටයුතු සහ ඔවුන්ට තවදුරටත් මේ ඇති වූ ආපදා තත්වයෙන් නගා සිටුවීමේ මේ රජයේ ක්‍රියාන්විතයට ඉන්දිය රජය ලබා දෙන සහයෝගය පිළිබඳව ඒ වගේම මෙම මාධ්‍ය හමුවේදී ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍යවරයා පසුගිය දිට්වා සොලිකුණාටුවත් සමග ඔබ දන්නවා මෙරටට සහන සැලසීමට යොමු වූ පළමු රට බවට පත් වුණේ අසල්වැසි ඉන්දියාව. ඔවුන් 28 වෙනිදා තමයි සාගර් බන්දු මෙහෙයුම ආරම්භ කළේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට සහන සලසන්න. ඉතින් එහිදී ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ඔවුන් ලබා දුණු සහයෝගය පිළිබඳව කරුණු කාරණා රසක් මෙරට විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍යවරයා කරුණු ගෙන ආවා. මේ වාද්‍ය හමුව ඇමතු ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය ආචාර්ය ජයශංකර් මහතා විශේෂ කාරණාවක් යොමු කළේ තමයි මේ ඇති වී තිබෙන ආපදා තත්වයෙන් යලි නගා සිටුවන මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ඩොලර් මිලියන 450ක සහන පැකේජයක් ලබා දෙන්නට ඉන්දියාව කටයුතු කර ඇති බවට තමයි මෙම මාධ්‍ය හමුවේදී ආචාර්ය එස් ජයශංකර් සඳහන් කළේ. ඒ වගේම මා පෙර සඳහන් කළ ආකාරයට සාගර් බන්දු මෙහෙයුම තුළින් ඉන්දියාව කොහොමද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට මේ ඇති වූ ආපදා තත්වයක් එක්ක සහන සැලසීමට ක්‍රියාත්මක වුණේ කියන කාරණාව පිළිබඳව ඔහු වැඩිදුරටත් කරුණු සඳහන් කළා. ඒ වගේම මේ ඇති වී තිබෙන ආපදා තත්වයක් එක්ක ශ්‍රී ලංකාව යලි නැගී සිටින මොහොතක ඔබ දන්නවා සංචාරක කර්මාන්තය පිළිබඳව බොහෝ දෙනෙකුගේ අවධානය යොමු තිබෙනවා. ආචාර්ය ජයශංකර් සනාථ කළ අඛණ්ඩ සහයෝගය මෙරට සංචාරක කර්මාන්තය නගා සිටුවන්නට ඉන්දියාවේ අඛණ්ඩ සහයෝගය ලබා දෙන බවට 2022 දී ආර්ථික අභියෝගයෙන් ඒ මුහුණ දුන් අභියෝගයට රටක් විදිහට ශ්‍රී ලංකාව මුහුණ දුන් ආකාරයට එම මොහොතේදී ඉන්දියාව ලබා දුන් සහයෝගයම මේ මොහොතේදී අඛණ්ඩව මේ දිට්වා හේතුවෙන් ඇති වූ ආපදා තත්වයෙන් යලි ගොඩේන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ලබා දෙන බවට තමයි ආචාර්ය ජයශංකර් මෙම මාධ්‍ය හමුවේදී වැඩිදුරටත් கருணு அனாவரணை கலை.
ஸ்துதி இமேஷ் விசேட செய்தியூடாக உங்களை சந்திக்கிறோம். 2 நாள் உத்தியோகபூர்வ விஜயம் மேற்கொண்டு இந்திய வெளியுறவுத்துறை அமைச்சர் சுப்பிரமணியம் ஜெய்சங்கர் நேற்றைய தினம் பிற்பகல் நாட்டிற்கு வருகை தந்திருந்தார். இந்திய பிரதமர் நரேந்திர மோடியின் தூதுவராகவே அவர் நேற்றைய தினம் வருகை தந்திருந்தார். இன்று காலை ஜனாதிபதி அன்ருகுமார் திசாநாயக்கவுக்கும் இந்திய வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் ஜெய்சங்கருக்கும் இடையிலான சந்திப்பு ஒன்று இடம்பெற்றது. அதனை அடுத்து 2 நாட்டு வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர்களுக்கும் இடையிலான ஊடக சந்திப்பு ஒன்றும் இடம்பெற்றது. அந்த ஊடக சந்திப்பிலே வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர், இலங்கை வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் விஜித் ஹேராத், அதே போன்று இந்திய வெளியுறவுத்துறை அமைச்சர் டாக்டர் ஜெய்சங்கர் ஆகியோர் கலந்து கொண்டிருந்தார்கள். இதில் இலங்கை வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் விஜித் ஹேராத் கருத்து வெளியிடும் போது தித்வா சூறாவளியினால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட போது முதலாவது நிவாரண உதவியாக இந்தியாவின் சாகர் பாந்து திட்டம் ஊடாக கிடைக்கப்பட்டதை அவர் நினைவு கூர்ந்திருந்தார். அதே போன்று இலங்கை இந்திய நாடுகளுக்கு இடையில் நீண்டகால உறவு நீடித்து வருவதாகவும் அதனை தொடர்ந்து வலுப்படுத்திக் கொள்வதே தங்களுடைய நோக்கம் என்றும் அவர் கூறியிருந்தார். டாக்டர் ஜெய்சங்கர் ஜனாதிபதி ஆகியோருக்கு இடையிலான சந்திப்பு இன்றைய தினம் காலை வேளையில் இடம்பெற்றதாக அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். இதன் போது பல்வேறு ஒப்பந்தங்கள் கைச்சாத்திடப்பட்டதாகவும், குறிப்பாக கல்வி, அதே போன்று வலுசக்தி, பொருளாதாரம் போன்றவற்றை வலுப்படுத்திக் கொள்வதற்கான கலந்துரையாடல் இடம்பெற்றது. குறிப்பாக இந்தியாவினுடைய மனிதாபிமான உதவிகளுக்கும் ஜனாதிபதி நன்றி தெரிவித்ததாக வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். 10,000க்கும், அதாவது குறிப்பாக இந்தியாவின் மனிதாபிமான உதவிகளுக்கு ஜனாதிபதி அன்ருகுமாரவும் நன்றி பகிர்ந்ததாக வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் விஜித் ஹேராத் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். இந்திய ராணுவத்தால் 10,000 தொன் நிவாரணப் பொருட்கள், மருத்துவ உதவியும், சூறாவளியால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட பகுதிகளில் புனரமைக்கும் உதவியும் முன்னெடுக்கப்பட்டதாகவும் அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை இந்தியா அதன் நட்புறவை நிரூபித்து காட்டியுள்ளதாகவும் அவர் கூறியிருந்தார். அதே போன்று இந்திய பிரதமர் நரேந்திர மோடி, அதே போன்று இந்திய வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் டாக்டர் சுப்பிரமணியம் ஜெய்சங்கர், அதே போன்று இந்திய மக்கள் அனைவருக்கும் விஜித் ஹேராத், இலங்கை வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர், தன்னுடைய நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்திருந்தார். அதே போன்று மீண்டும் சுற்றுலாத்துறையை கட்டி எழுப்பப்பட்டுள்ளதாகவும் அவர் கூறியிருந்தார். அதனை அடுத்து இந்திய வெளிவிவகார அமைச்சர் டாக்டர் ஜெய்சங்கர் இந்த ஊடக சந்திப்பிலே கருத்து வெளியிட்டிருந்தார். அவர் ஜனாதிபதி அன்ருகுமார திசாநாயக்கோடு இடம்பெற்ற கலந்துரையாடல், அதே போன்று இந்திய பிரதமர் நரேந்திர மோடி வழங்கிய கடிதத்தை ஜனாதிபதி அன்ருகுமார திசாநாயக்கு வழங்கியதாக குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். குறிப்பாக அந்த கடிதத்திலே இந்த சூறாவளியால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட இந்த நாட்டுக்கு உதவியாக அதனை கட்டி எழுப்புவதற்காக 450 மில்லியன் US டாலர் கடனை வழங்குவதாக குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். குறிப்பாக தித்வா சூறாவளியால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட போது சாகர் பாந்து திட்டம், குறிப்பாக INS விக்ராந்த், அதே போன்று பல்வேறு ஹெலிகாப்டர்கள் மூலமாக உதவிகள் வழங்கப்பட்டதாகவும் அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். அதே போன்று இந்திய இராணுவத்தினர் குறிப்பாக 8,000 இந்திய கண்டியில் இருக்கின்ற மருத்துவ உதவிகள் 8,000 பேருக்கு மருத்துவ உதவிகள் வழங்கப்பட்டதாகவும் அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். அதே போன்று சுற்றுலாத்துறை வலுப்படுத்துவதற்கு முயற்சியை முன்னெடுக்க உள்ளதாக அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். இந்த சூறாவளியினால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட இலங்கை நாட்டை கட்டியெழுப்புவதற்கு தொடர்ந்து முன்னிற்பதாகவும் டாக்டர் ஜெய்சங்கர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். எனவே இதுதான் இப்போது நமக்கு கிடைத்த செய்திகள். இது தொடர்பான விரிவான தகவல்களை தொடர்ந்து நியூஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்டில் எதிர்பாருங்கள். Over to Ashish.
Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. Now, as we all know, India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, arrived in Sri Lanka yesterday, and he is arriving in Sri Lanka for a 2-day official visit as a special envoy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well. Now, after he met President Anrukumara Dissanayake this morning, a joint press briefing between India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar as well as Sri Lanka's Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijita Herath was held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. Now, addressing the press briefing, Minister Vijita Herath highlighted the strong reflection of India and Sri Lanka and the bilateral relations between our two nations, and appreciated India as the first responder of timely response with the Operation Sagar Bandhu as well. And he also recalled the $4 billion assistance that was extended through the line of credit by India during the economic crisis as well. And Minister Vijita also highlighted that $20.66 million were provided by India to complete the existing developments as well. Now, Minister Vijita Herath also highlighted that Dr. S. Jaishankar had called on the President this morning and had reiterated the support of India in several sectors such as the broader trajectory as well as economic development, the energy sector, connectivity, trade and investment, health, tourism, education and even people-to-people ties. Now, President has also appreciated India's assistance in several sectors such as medical supplies, connectivity, building infrastructure and relief supplies as well. Now, Minister Vijitha Herath highlighted India's support in rapid restoration of the country after Cyclone Ditwa made landfall in late November in the country. And as per Minister Vijitha Herath, Dr. S. Jaishankar as well as Minister Vijitha Herath virtually inaugurated the mobile bridge that was built by India in Kilinochchi as well. And he also highlighted that Sri Lanka's tourism sector has bounced back already from Cyclone Ditwa, and that India has become the largest source of tourists to make this tourism sector a boost once again. Now, Dr. S. Jaishankar, India's External Affairs Minister, also addressing the press briefing, said that he and India is committing for a $450 million relief package once again. Now, he highlighted that as the closest neighbor of Sri Lanka, that it was inevitable that India steps up, as the country did so back during the economic crisis of Sri Lanka in 2022 as well. And India has also been a part of advising and guidance during the Cyclone Ditwa period as well. And an 18-member relief team, along with Indian Army of 85 medical personnel in Kandy and Bhishma emergency forces, had also arrived in Sri Lanka to assist with the Cyclone Ditwa making landfall in Sri Lanka and to support the affected communities in Sri Lanka. Now, upon the new $450 million relief package will include $350 million concessional loans of credit, as well as $100 million of grants from India. And he has also reiterated India's support in rehabilitation of railway and road operations, housing constructions, health and education sectors, agriculture sector, as well as better disaster response and preparedness following the cyclone Ditwa as well. And he has also highlighted that India will continue to encourage tourist traffic coming from India, as well as committed to foreign direct investments coming in from India as well. So these are the updates we have from the press briefing between Dr. S. Jaishankar as well as Minister of Tourism in Sri Lanka, Vijitha Herath. So stay tuned to our bulletins for the latest updates as well.
ඉන්දියා අග්‍රාමාත්‍යවරයාගේ විශේෂ නියෝජිතයෙකු ලෙස මෙරට සංචාරයේ නිරත වූ ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය ආචාර්ය එස් ජයශංකර් මහතා මෙරටට ලබා දුන් මේ ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් මිලියන 450ක සහන පැකේජය පිළිබඳව වැඩිදුර තොරතුරු අපි සූදානම් නිවුස් ෆර්ස්ට් දහවල් ප්‍රධාන පෘථිවි විකාශයෙන් ඔබට ගෙනෙන්න.
රේඩියෝවට වීඩියෝ ගුවන් විදුලි ප්‍රවෘත්ති කලාව නව මානයකට ප්‍රමුඛ පුවත් සිරස FM ඔස්සේ ආනවා වගේම newsfirst.lk ඔස්සේ දැන් බලන්නත් පුළුවන්. සෑම දිනකම උදෑසන 7ට, දහවල් 12:30ට සහ සවස 6:30ට. Newsfirst Visual Radio.